Anyway, today I have to deliver my speech in English. Your Excellency State Minister Abdirahman Muhammad Abdul, Excellency's Advisor, Director, and other distinguished guests, dear Chairman Hashi, dear students and families, friends, all protocols observed. It's a great pleasure for me to attend today's ceremony. Congratulations to students who have been awarded with Chinese government scholarships. Special thanks go to the Ministry of Education and Higher Education for its efforts in the selection and dispatch of students, which is a time-consuming job. We would also like to thank Banadir region, federal member states, and relevant federal government departments for their participation in China-Somalia exchanges and cooperation, and for their support for the work of the embassy. Today, I would like to share with you our information and views on some issues. First, on China-Somalia relationship. Our friendly contacts can be traced back to 6 centuries ago, when Chinese navigator Zheng He visited Mogadishu twice with his fleet. In 1960, we established diplomatic relations. In the following 3 decades, we had extensive cooperation in various fields. Somalia supported the restoration of the lawful seat of the People's Republic of China in the United Nations. China built 89 projects and dispatched nearly 400 medical team members in assistance to Somalia. After Somalia unfortunately fell into war in 1991, China has supported the peace and reconstruction process of the country. In 2014, China reopened its embassy in Mogadishu. Since then, bilateral cooperation in the political, economic, security, humanitarian, and other fields has been continuously expanded. This year is of special importance to China-Africa and China-Somalia relations. Yesterday, the Beijing summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, or FOCAC, came to a successful conclusion. In his keynote speech at the opening ceremony, titled "Work Together for Common Development and a Shared Future," Chinese President Xi Jinping said China will implement 8 major initiatives with African countries in the next 3 years and beyond, namely industrial promotion, infrastructure connectivity, trade facilitation, green development, capacity building, healthcare, people-to-people exchanges, and peace and security. For the implementation of these initiatives, China will extend a total of $60 billion of financing to Africa. He also said China will exempt certain African countries from outstanding debts incurred in the form of interest-free Chinese government loans due by the end of 2018. President Muhammad of Somalia attended the summit and held a productive bilateral meeting with President Xi. The 2 leaders reached consensus on further promoting bilateral relations within relevant frameworks, including the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road Initiative. A new chapter of China-Somalia friendship has been opened. We have full confidence in its future. Second, on human resource development cooperation between China and Somalia. For a country, talents are a most valued resource. Over the years, China has provided support to Somalia in human resource development. In 1978, China and Somalia signed an agreement on cultural and educational cooperation. From then on, China has provided government scholarships to Somalia. Besides, many Somali students have gone to China to study at their own expenses. In 2015, there were altogether 1,320 Somali students in China, including 140 supported by Chinese government scholarships. With a view to helping Somalia in its capacity building efforts, China has also provided short-term training opportunities in various fields to Somali government officials and civil society activists. Friends, China is now the world's third biggest and Asia's biggest destination country for studying abroad. In 2017, there were 489,200 foreign students studying in 935 institutions of higher learning in China. Among them, 430,600 or 88.03% were self-supporting students. The rest, 58,600 or 11.97% were students from 180 countries supported by Chinese government scholarships, 69.57% of whom studied as master's degree and doctoral candidates. Among the 8 initiatives announced by President Xi Jinping at the FOCAC summit is capacity building. He said China will share more of its development practices with Africa and support cooperation with Africa on economic and social development planning. 10 Luban workshops will be set up in Africa to provide vocational training for young Africans. China will support opening of a China-Africa Innovation Cooperation Center to promote youth innovation and entrepreneurship. A tailor-made program will be carried out to train 1,000 high-caliber Africans. China will provide Africa with 50,000 government scholarships and 50,000 training opportunities for seminars and workshops, and will invite 2,000 young Africans to visit China for exchanges. With the development of our bilateral relations, we believe the number of Somali students and personnel going to China for study and training will be continuously increased. Third, on China's development and opening up. This year marks the 40th anniversary of China's reform and opening up. Over the 4 decades, China's GDP has increased at an average annual rate of about 9.5%. China has grown from a country in poverty to the world's second largest economy and to a medium to high income country in terms of per capita national income. We can attribute China's achievement to the fact that after an arduous journey of exploration, the country has blazed a development path that suits its actual conditions, which is socialism with Chinese characteristics. On the other hand, China is still a developing country, and its development is still unbalanced and inadequate. Income gaps and regional gaps are still relatively large. There are still 30 million people who are yet to be lifted out of poverty. In many areas of economic development, China is large but not strong. China will continue to work hard and take solid steps towards further development. Friends, in recent years, China has been the most significant driving force in world economy and accounted for more than 30% of global economic growth. As a responsible major country, China is a firm defender of economic globalization, the multilateral trading system, and global trade liberalization. China's development has been and will continue to be an opportunity for the world. China welcomes world countries aboard the express train of China's development. Friends, it is the people of a country that know their own country best. China respects the right of the peoples of all countries to independently choose their development paths and will not impose its will upon others. One example is that China has provided assistance to African countries with no political strings attached. Still, if foreign friends have an interest in China's development experience, China will be glad to share it with them. Fourth, on the study and living of Somali students in China. To students here today, the main purpose of your stay in China will be study. Chinese universities and colleges have strict requirements for academics and discipline. We hope and we believe that Somali students will cherish the opportunity of studying in China, work hard, comply with college management regulations, and achieve good results in both academics and conduct. The Chinese language is a compulsory course for foreign undergraduate students. If you spend enough time and efforts on it, it will not be as difficult as it seems to be. With the improvement of China's international status and the expansion of China's exchanges and cooperation with world countries, the application of the Chinese language will become more and more extensive. Hope you will perform well on this course. For most students, studying in China is the first time to stay long in a foreign country. Because you are in a different environment, you might find the beginning of your study and living there something difficult and challenging. Don't worry, this is only natural. Chinese friends around you will give you a helping hand, and you will be adapted to the new environment at a time earlier than you imagine. Master degree candidates and representatives of Soomalia-China Friendship Association here today have studied in China before. New students can have exchanges with them on the experience of studying and living in China. Somali-China Friendship Association is an organization established earlier this year in Mogadishu and made up of Somalis who have studied in China before. We hope you could all support and participate in its work. China has a long history and a vast territory. From region to region, it is highly diversified in terms of geographical conditions and living habits. If conditions permit, you can make travels to different places of China and have a more comprehensive understanding of the country. When you are in China, you and your families will miss each other. I hope you can often contact your families and let them know how things are with you in China, so they will not have to worry about you. Last but not least, our expectations of you. In recent years, there has been positive progress in the peace and reconstruction process of Somalia. Somalia is a country endowed with an important geographical location and rich natural resources, and its people are diligent and talented. We believe the future of Somalia is bright. Youths represent the future of Somalia. We're hoping that after you finish your study in China, you can use what you have learned to serve the reconstruction and development of your country. Youths also represent the future of China-Somalia relationship. At his speech at the FOCAC Summit opening ceremony, President Xi Jinping said, "The future of China-Africa relations lies in our young people, and many of the measures in the 8 initiatives he outlined are designed to help young people in Africa, which will provide young Africans with more training and job opportunities and open up more space for their development." To students here today, because of your experience of study and living in China, China will surely be a special country in your mind, and your bond with China will surely be indissoluble. We hope you can actively participate in the development of China-Somalia relations and become a successor to and builder of our time-honored friendship. Students are about to go on journeys to China. I wish you all bon voyage and a pleasant stay in China, and hope to have good news about you. Thank you all, Excellencies, students and friends.
谢谢你们。markan waxaan noo soo timayaa waan jeclahay inaan microphone-ka aan ku dhaweeyo wasiir dowlaha Abdulrahman Maxamuud Cabdulle oo ay runtii inuu noo yimaado ama noo soo wadintan qayb weyn ku lahaa.